A woman convicted of manslaughter in a deadly 2023 crash will spend more than 6 years in prison. Today, Valerie Pallas was sentenced to 77 months, the maximum allowed in Kansas, and she was also sentenced to 3 years of supervision after her release. The crash happened in October of 2023 at 13th and Greenwich. Investigators say 71-year-old Billy Weininger was getting out of his car to check damage after another crash, and that's when they say he was hit by Pallas. Prosecutors said she was under the influence of alcohol.